everyone, it's Desiree, and I have something a little special, I think. So the Washi Tape Shop had contacted me and asked if I would like to be creative with some of their products, and I said yes. So this is what they sent me. So I want to real quick go through it and show you. This is called the Fluttering Butterfly, and it is a wide roll. Okay, now what's great with these washi tapes is there's a protective coating on the back. So I use a pin to pull that off the release paper, and they are great. They are super strong. I put these panels together about a week before I actually filmed this, and they didn't move. Usually sometimes you see washi tape kind of coil up. Nope, not these. The next ones here that I am showing are absolutely gorgeous. It's called Silver Dream Catcher Set. So it's the same design, but it's got some gold foiling, and one has a gray background and the other has a white background. So beautiful set. This one here is called the Waves of Ribbon. I think I'm saying that correctly. Beautiful, beautiful foiling on these, whether it's the fine lines, it's in silver and gold when it comes to the foiling, and they are nice and wide. This set is absolutely gorgeous. It is called Spring Memories. I'm going to see this in a lot of my journals because I'm seeing those roses. Absolutely. We've got some great different widths of our washi tape along with some gold going on. The final one is called Floral Essence. And again, when you see them together like this, these are sets. So when you purchase them, you will get these as a set. Now, will not get the green tape that's sitting on them. That is for me to keep them together in there and wrapped around. That's a highlighter tape. So that's not, you do not receive that from them. All right. So those are the sets that we received that they sent to me graciously. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Absolutely in love with these. Now I'm going to show you 5 ways that you can create your cards using washi tape. Okay, there's 5 different ways. So let's get started. So first up, we are going to create a background. Now, you can take these washi tapes. Now, they're all, for this set here, they're all the same width. But we can change that. You can tear them. Even with that release paper on the back, you can still tear them, which is just great. I found it very easy to use just a pin to get that up and pull that away. At least I did. But just by placing these on an angle. Now, I'm working on my glass mat. It was a cloudy day today. And these are going to stick down. Now, what I think is awesome with these washi tapes is they are strong. They are not your typical washi tape. They have some grab to them, and let me tell you what, when I pulled that off of my glass mat, because I'm assuming that, washi tapes, they're not supposed to be really, really sticky. And these are, which is great because they're perfect for your journals. They're perfect for your calendars. They're perfect for your notebooks when you just want to add a splash of color. That's what I do with washi tape. And incorporate it, of course, into my cards. But this will stick. It doesn't curl up, which is great, because after a while, they usually will. So you can see I'm just placing these strips of the washi tape that I have cut just in a random order, just putting them where I think they look good. And that just creates a panel. Now, I do want the overhang on this piece, because since this is a panel and this panel's been cut to 4 by 5 1/4, it's going to go on my standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base, standard A2 size. So I don't want the edge to be seen. So by having this going on there, I am able to wrap this washi tape around. I mean, I'm struggling here to get that up, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I'm just folding down certain areas. And again, I made the mistake of setting it down, back down, which I'm doing right now, onto the glass. So it really does, it's got great adhesion, which is wonderful. So I'm folding over each of the sides so that you don't see the white of the cardstock. And then those pieces that are coming out from the edges, I will trim away with my scissors on an angle, just so that it just doesn't come to that edge. So beautiful panel. I love the gold accents that they have, because when you tilt the camera, you can still, or tilt the card, you can still see those designs. Next up, we're going to create some panels, some actual strip panels. So I chose, for this one, I chose the Waves of Ribbon. I hope I'm saying that right. And I'm just putting those across a piece of cardstock. Now this is actually from my scrap bin, but it's nice and thick. So I'm just layering those up around, and then I'm going to have one more, because I wasn't sure which ones I was going to use and which one I was not. By creating these panels, I'm going to use my cutter and cut along the edges of the washi tape, which will then create this very thick, it'll give it a base, because I am using that thick cardstock. And by doing that, I'll be able to either adhere them directly down onto a design base, or I can use, which I'm going to do here, double-sided foam tape. And you just get this, great look of panels full of dimension. You can put them on any color cardstock that you would want. I thought white was the best because of all of these beautiful and vibrant colors that you have. Excuse me. I'm going to take a sip here. Hold on. So once I know what placement I'm going to put them in, I start putting on my double-sided adhesive tape, and now I'm going to place them. Now some of these, again, this panel is cut to be 4 by 5 1/4, and then I will trim all of the excess coming off the side. I am using my grid on my glass mat to try to have some semblance of straightness. Come on, guys, you know me. Everything must be eyeballed. That's just the type of creator I am. To just have fun with it and see what you get and see what comes up. And then the last one, we'll just trim that off. So we have the darkest, and then I have the lightest going up. So for the next one is I'm using these beautiful butterflies. I mean, they are just absolutely gorgeous. And again, that's called Fluttering Butterfly Wide. So I'm putting and you can see how the residue of it was sitting on my mat. I'm putting a strip to the top and the bottom, making sure that both of these strips are going in the same direction. Yeah. Once I have those adhered, I'm going to put this into an embossing folder. And one of the Spellbinders folders of the month was called Radiant Burst, and I thought it was perfect. So I'm going to put this inside, making sure the center of the radius is at the center of the card. Once I have it placed, I'm actually going to put this through my Spellbinder 6. So I'm going to use the folder with one cutting plate and bring that through. And that is the perfect sandwich when it comes to those embossing folders. You can see the beautiful print that came from that embossing folder shining through also the washi tape. So awesome look. For the next one, very simple. Some of the designs are just so gorgeous that you can just put strips of them on a design panel. And then you can add a sentiment at some area of your card. And that's exactly what I wanted to do with the Dreamcatcher set. Now again, this is a set of 2. So the Silver Dreamcatcher, and I love the fact that it's called the Silver Dreamcatcher when the foiling's gold. I honestly do. I think that's great. But you can see I'm choosing different areas and just making sure that they're torn on the side to give that roughness. But we can take that up one level. So taking all of the concepts except the panel. So in the first one, we created a background. Okay, so let's create a background. Do they have to constantly or continuously overlap like the first one did? Absolutely not. We can have spaces in between the washi tape. We can have, when we have an edge that isn't going from side to side, we can have that torn edge. The pieces that I didn't use, so like a piece that I torn away, I'm able to put back onto the release paper and save. This is when I found that out. Because I'm tearing, I'm doing something that I absolutely love to do with paper, and that's tear it, to create those rough edges, to create that edge that's organic, because we tore it. It's how it's going to look. You can't correct it unless you throw it away, which we don't do. We keep going. So I'm just creating these strips and getting them into place, making sure that the same design isn't on top of each other at the same time, creating breaks like I'm doing here in between each section. So again, just having fun with the placement. Now this set here, the Spring Memories, also has a super dark rose strip as well, which is great. I'm going to take the lighter of the roses and I'm just going to place them every so often in different areas. Here comes the dark, again being specific on how I'm going to tear that. I want to see the rose, so I'm going to make sure that I tear from the bottom and the top on both of these pieces. And then just, again, have fun with the placement of the pieces, layering them. You know, the one just before, we just had 3 strips. One was coming in from the left, one was coming in from the right, one was just kind of hanging out there. This here, we can just keep layering and layering. And you can do that when you have a set. And just have fun putting those layers down. Then we can go one more step. And I just showed you before, when it comes to the butterflies, run it through an embossing folder. Now the embossing folder that I ran it through before is on the thicker side because it's a larger size. It's like a medium, I say a medium type of impression, okay? But we're going to do the same thing with this with an original embossing folder. So we're going to pull in my Spellbinder 6 again, and since this is what I call the original type of embossing folders, I'm going to use the special embossing plate that Spellbinders provide along with the cardstock inside my embossing folder. And that's the sandwich for that. When I pull this out, we have a beautiful layered washi tape. It doesn't look layered, okay, because they molded together and we embossed it. So just to recap, we created our full panel. Beautiful accents. It's already embellished. Don't need to add anything. Here we can create our own type of die cuts with our washi tape. So create those elements that can be embellished. We took the wider washi tape, and sometimes we look at those and say, well, I can't layer them because they're not going to line up. So okay, create the break. That's where your sentiment goes, but run it through with an embossing folder to give it even more texture. We can use the tapes as themselves to create that focal point. And then we can go all board and just add everything that we've just done here into one card. these are just some of the ways that you can work with washi tape. Now, if you just have to go and check out the Washi Tape Shop, there is a link down below, and by all means, I have a coupon for you. So you'll see on your screen right now a coupon code that says include a thank you 10. That will give you 10% off of your order if you should find anything that you are interested in. If you should have any questions, though, please make sure you leave those down below, and I will make sure that I get back to you as soon as I can. And if you're asking something specific to the washi tape, if I don't know, I will reach out to my contact and find out from them as well. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell so that you are notified when the next video comes out, if YouTube feels the need to do that. But please continue to enjoy creating your art. And that is what you are doing. You are taking something in one format and you are changing it and putting it into another format. That's the basis of creating art. And that's a wonderful thing. But remember what's most important to me. Always. Always be creative, guys. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Till then.